Hi everyone, my name is Inge Urbancic and I am a PhD student in international education at George Mason University in Fairfax. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the results of my pilot study. And the presentation is titled Exploring Intercultural Competence and Global Citizenship Within the Pakistani Classroom.
So by way of introduction to this study, I just wanted to let you know that the study itself aims to explore different perspectives of intercultural competence by Pakistani English secondary school teachers. So as you may know, Pakistan is implementing a single national curriculum with student outcomes of global citizenship, which include things like the development of empathy, of tolerance, gender equity, as well as the promotion of diversity of cultures. So through a qualitative research study approach, 3 Pakistani English teachers were interviewed to explore their perspectives of the term intercultural competence. And this study itself is relevant to explore intercultural competence as a framework to effectively support these new curricular outcomes within the single national curriculum. And in addition, this study adds to the field of international research by providing a foundation for the development of purposeful teacher education programs through the framework of intercultural competence. And it will help to identify the intersections in terminology, as well as include a broader understanding of non-Western perspectives on intercultural competence. It's important to take a look and see exactly what I'm talking about when I'm referring to global citizenship and intercultural competence. So for the purpose of this study, I'm looking at global citizenship as someone who has developed an awareness of global issues, such as they are environmentally conscious, there's human rights awareness, sustainable development, and gender issues. Comparing that with intercultural competence, this is referring to the critical knowledge and the skills and the behavior that enables people to manage and interpret cultural interactions in a positive way. So the main difference between global citizens and interculturally competent citizens are the behavioral adaptations that is included in the source of the definition. Keeping these definitions in mind, and specifically the idea of global citizenship, we're going to turn to Pakistan's single national curriculum so that we can see exactly what is happening in response to the growing need for transformative approaches to globalization within the Pakistani education system. So in 2018, Imran Khan had proposed comprehensive educational reforms to the Pakistani educational system through the development of a single national curriculum. And within this curriculum, there are stated global citizenship outcomes for all primary and secondary school students by the year 2030. Some of the outcomes that are included within the curriculum are the development of fostering a sense of inclusiveness, peace, social cohesion, as well as attributes of tolerance, respect, equality, and gender equity. There's also notable behavioral outcomes such as open-mindedness, flexibility, and adaptation to intercultural interactions. And there are also the development of ethical and social values relevant to living within a multicultural and civilized society. There are other stated global citizenship outcomes which we are finding within the single national curriculum within each subject area. All of them from general knowledge, early childhood, English, Urdu, Islamiyat, mathematics, general science, and social studies. So finally, just to wrap up the rationale for the study, if we look at the definition of intercultural competence and we look at what's happening within Pakistan's single national curriculum, we can see that intercultural competence includes the behavioral modifications that are needed to create the meaningful positive interactions that between diverse cultures and societies. So because of that, I'm looking to explore the perspectives of intercultural competence within Pakistan, specifically by Pakistani English teachers, to explore these as a starting point to investigate ways to develop actionable and implementable behaviors of the stated global citizenship outcomes within Pakistan's single national curriculum. So if we turn now to the participants and exactly how they were selected for the study, I used what's called a purposeful sampling method. And using this method, I selected three Pakistani English teachers to participate in the study. And each teacher was assigned a pseudonym to allow for their own anonymity, as well as each one has also consented to be recorded and participate in the study. So each of the three participants had participated in a 6-week educational program here in the United States, and they were selected due to their high level of interest and engagement in the advancement of education through global and international activities that they are participating in. Each one of the participants also has a common interest to connect Pakistan globally in the world, and I could see through these interviews that their interest and enthusiasm was very, very apparent. Also, since I had previously worked with this group of teachers, the teachers are aware of my interest and my involvement in Pakistan. However, the interviews were conducted professionally and they did adhere to peer-reviewed as well as critiqued interview questions. So because of restrictions due to COVID, this study did occur online via Zoom calls, and all of the interviews occurred in October of 2021 using a qualitative research approach. And once the data was collected, I analyzed the data for patterns and emergent themes through a process that is called inductive coding. So the overarching research question in the study explored the general perspectives of the term itself of intercultural competence by Pakistani English teachers. So this really turned out to be theme 1. And as we look at these, some of the thoughts are expressed here, such as intercultural competence is a strong bond between human beings. Intercultural competence is a way to break borders and tolerate others and to listen with patience, accept them and their notions. Intercultural competence tells us that something beyond religion exists, that is human nature. Or intercultural competence is accepting the differences, accepting diversity and adapting per the needs of the environment and the needs of the culture. Or intercultural competence is a way that you can share your culture with others, you can adopt what I have, and it's a bond of relationship, a bond of love, and a bond of respect. As the interviews progressed, we saw some more clear themes and challenges really that emerged regarding intercultural competence in Pakistan. So in regards to the second theme, the overarching theme, really was a growing need for intercultural competence in Pakistan. One of the participants stated that this is the need of the hour, and he continued his description of this need of intercultural competence in Pakistan from an environmental perspective, saying that competencies are very much necessary because wherever we go, there are man-made boundaries. But the problem of the world, the problem of people, the pains of the people are saying that intercultural competency is very much needed. They say that we are connected to everyone, so now nobody can survive in isolation. And knowing only about yourself and your culture and religion is not enough. Another participant noted that it is as important as oxygen to survive. There were as well some noted challenges to implementation in Pakistan, and the teachers noted that this is not a primary focus anywhere in Pakistan. Also citing that the textbook content is not updated and that there are a lack of amenities in the classrooms in order to develop and promote intercultural competence. One of the questions that I asked was a very open-ended question regarding how each of the teachers, if they were given unlimited resources, how would they implement intercultural competence in their classroom? And this is where really the third theme started to evolve, which was just talking about integrating intercultural competence in the Pakistani classroom. And the first participant was discussing the importance of accessibility and cultural connections between the teachers, saying that if we get a chance to have an interaction, student to student, or an interaction teacher to teacher, it would be helpful to come to know about each other's domain. Another participant noted that, the world has become a global village and intercultural competency learning has become an indispensable leader of our time. And we have to accept that in this 21st century, it is essential for us. Education for teachers, we need to teach our students what intercultural competence is. Another mentioned that it is important to teach our students intercultural competence. We need to bring something new into the classroom. We need to be proactive. We need to be interested, dedicated, and intercultural competency can be integrated. Also, coming in from a different perspective, we can see a teacher had noted integrating it in the classroom would be about raising flags and arranging some common books and some slang words. And it's important to understand that Pakistan is very, very culturally diverse on its own. So first, we have to look into the diversity that is existing in our own culture and our own country. First, start with what we know. So as we look at a discussion and really a conclusion of this study and the results that were here, we can see that based upon the scope of this pilot study, as well as the exploration of the research question and the series of interviews, we can see that the responses that were received were quite rich and insightful regarding the perspectives of intercultural competence by Pakistani teachers. And upon analysis of the data, the perspectives of intercultural competence by Pakistani teachers share these teacher perspectives in several key areas. Specifically, that there is a huge need for intercultural competence specifically within Pakistani Urdu medium government secondary schools. Also that there are key variations on the perspectives of intercultural competence itself and the meaning of what this term means by the teachers who were interviewed. We also see that there is a clear lack of availability of professional teacher development programs within the field of intercultural competence in Pakistan. And we investigated the role of cultural exchange as a positive way to develop intercultural competence. So what we're seeing is that truly there is an opportunity for greater exploration and study, not only into the terminology itself of global citizenship and intercultural competence, but also an understanding of the framework or a framework that could be used to support the development of global citizenship student outcomes within the Pakistan single national curriculum.